Good morning. I am Dr. Dhanya, a private homeopathic practitioner from Kottayam, Kerala. Today we will have a discussion on the impact of COVID-19 infection on the geriatric age group and of course its management. We all know that the COVID-19 pandemic is considered as the most crucial global health calamity of the century and the greatest challenge that the humankind faced since the Second World War. Emergence of this global health threat has crippled the public health, economy and the daily lives of billions. Certain sections of the population are at increased risk. One such section is the geriatric age group. It originated in China. It took around a month to be declared as a public health emergency of international concern and thereafter less than 2 months to erupt into a pandemic. Now, what are pandemics? Pandemics are epidemics which are prevalent in the whole country or continent or the whole world itself. Pandemics are not merely biological phenomena. They affect society at large, having long-lasting psychosocial implications. We know that as you get older, your risk for severe illness from COVID-19 also increases. Severe illness means that the affected person may require hospitalization with intensive care. That is, COVID-19 infection affects old age people more intensely than younger people. There are also other factors that can increase the risk for severe illness, such as having underlying medical conditions. In some cases, older adults and people of any age with underlying health conditions may have symptoms that are not typically seen in others, or they may take longer than others to develop fevers and other symptoms. In older adults, normal body temperature can be lower than in younger adults. So fever temperature can also be lower in them. So every symptom in them should be considered even if it is very minor. A simple reading higher than 100 degree Fahrenheit, multiple readings above 99 degree Fahrenheit or a rise in temperature greater than 2 degree Fahrenheit above the patient's normal temperature may be a sign of infection. Now, what is the aim of geriatric care? The prime aim of geriatric care is to treat and prevent disease, disability or illness of all people as well as to promote their general health. This aim should be intensified in condition of such a health threat like COVID-19. Now we can see the epidemiology of COVID-19 infection all over the world. During the first wave of outbreak in China, 20% of deaths were above 60 years of age. Based on Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention data, the frailty rate of 60 to 69 years old is around 3.6%, which increases to 18% above 80 years. Similar data was obtained from the worst affected countries like South Korea, Iran, Spain, Italy and United States. Several studies were conducted in this regard. An age-wise comparative study showed that patients of COVID-19 above 55 years had 3 times increased mortality. They also had increased hospitalization, delayed clinical recovery, increased pulmonary involvement, faster disease progression, and comorbidities of diabetes, hypertension, history of cerebrovascular accident, and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. The need for mechanical ventilation and oxygen therapy were doubled in them. According to CDC reports, 8 out of 10 COVID-19 deaths reported in the US have been adults 65 years and older. As the number of COVID-19 cases keep increasing in the world, it is time that we pay increased attention to the mental health of our senior citizens besides their physical susceptibility to the ongoing infection. Though majority of the cases of these infection are mild, few can progress to pneumonia and consequently acute respiratory distress syndrome, which can eventually lead to mortality. This severity and fatality have been found to be higher in the elderly, immunosuppressed, society impoverished, people with pre-existing respiratory conditions, and chronic medical comorbidities, all of which can be predisposing risk factor at an increased age. The geriatric age already has unique physical, psychosocial, and environmental vulnerabilities owing to frailty, which is conceptualized as sum total susceptibility to the psychological and psychosocial attributes associated with age. Neglect, loneliness, isolation, depression, anxiety, and abuse are the associated evils, especially at times of social distancing practiced during present times. The uncertainty and fear of the pandemic can have increased effect on the minds of the aged as they are aware of their vulnerability. The effect of the quarantine can be paramount, leading to loneliness, physical distancing from the loved ones, grief, anxiety, and chronic stress that can have long-standing psychological effects. Any form of stress is associated with decrease in immunity. Now, what we can do to protect them? Urge them to keep distance from others, stay 6 feet away, which is about 2 arm length. Encourage them to wash their hands often. Ask them to avoid touching their eyes, nose and mouth with unwashed hands. Cover coughs and sneezes with a tissue or the inside of their elbow, then wash hands afterwards. Take precautions in their daily life and events. This can be done as follows. Clean and disinfect surfaces and things they touch, including mobility and medical equipment such as walkers, canes and handrails. Restrict visitors. Recommend visitors wear masks if visitors are allowed. Social connectedness with the loved ones should be maintained. Emotional support should be given to them. Take facilities for healthcare consultation. Surgeries should be avoided if possible. Telemedicine facilities should be utilized. Digital screen time is better reduced as it can lead to misinformation and panic. Preventing overcrowding, encouraging physical activity, enhancing family support, and ensuring nutrition. Self-medication can be fatal. Elder family helplines should be utilized. This can provide counseling or medical support to the elderly people. We all know that most of the elderly people are suffering from a multiple number of diseases, or they are having treatment for a number of diseases or disorders. Homeopathy, being a holistic system of medicine, can give them simple medications without overburdening their system. From the time of Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, homeopathy had been found favorable in the treatment of epidemics. Since homeopathy is a system of medicine based on symptomatic treatment, when the medical world tells that there is no treatment for COVID-19, we homeopaths can tell the world confidently that we can treat these patients successfully even when the disease is an entirely new one. Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, in his literature Organon of Medicine, has clearly given the treatment of epidemics. He has given in it a definition of an epidemic which is similar to the definition given by WHO today. The role of microorganisms as the cause of diseases was first studied by Dr. Samuel Hahnemann even before the advent of modern technologies to find out the microorganisms. How can homeopathy find out the treatment for a new disease? That's a question raised by the whole world. After observing a number of cases of a disease or based on the symptom picture of the affected patients, a homeopath can select a remedy. We call it as the genus epidemicus. The same remedy can be used as the prophylactic against that disease. Dr. Hahnemann's lesser writings has given the description of how patients can be isolated in times of an epidemic. The isolation centers he described had all the facilities to prevent the spread of the disease, similar to the isolation wards of today. He has also given the protective measures to be taken by the caretakers. Now we can go through the history of epidemics in homeopathy. In 1813, When Germany had typhus fever, it was easily managed by homeopathic treatment. From 1830 to 32, when Europe was affected with cholera, similar outcome was there with homeopathy. In 1850, polio, and in 1907, smallpox were also cured with homeopathy. Coming to the present era, Japanese encephalitis, chikungunya and dengue were easily managed and prevented with homeopathy. Epidemics are not at all new to homeopaths and homeopathy. So why can't we rely on homeopathy for treating COVID-19 infection? Certainly we can. That's all. Thank you.